we had to hop on and bring you guys another recap. Let's get into some of the matchups I had my eyes on. First, there was the Bengals versus the Bills up in the snow in Buffalo. There was
beautiful.
It was
beautiful.
Very beautiful. Very visually pleasing to see. Then we'll talk a little bit about those Bears and Packers at Lambeau, gritty game. Then we're going to go hit the AFC North and hit the Steelers versus their rivals, the Ravens. We knew about that with Stuggs. When T-Sizzle came in here, they hate each other. And then, of course, we got to talk about the Texans going up into Arrowhead and taking on the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. Let's get into it.
There's also a little extra chill zone, too.
Oh, a little chill zone?
Yeah.
Little chill zone? All right, let's talk about these Bills and how they beat the Bengals up in the snow. Initial thought, 70 points, 80 points in the snow. It was nuts. It was a fun game.
Looks like there was good traction, too. It wasn't like they were slipping all over the place.
Yeah, the traction's always pretty decent in the snow, I felt. I was a mudder. I felt like I always had an advantage in the snow. Guys, I'd rather play in the snow than you play in the rain, because the ball is not wet. The ball is still, it's cold, it's harder, but it ain't wet.
Who has the advantage on like a snowy game, offense or defense?
I would say the offense does, because the defense is doing everything in a back pedal. And then also, you can control the route. And if they miss, you can go.
Being reactive versus knowing
yes,
what's happening.
You can be reactive. Cincinnati came out with a bang. 21, looked like they weren't going to be stopped. And then the second half hits, and Josh Allen does Josh Allen. And I think the game ultimately came down to those two turnovers that Joe Burrow put up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. You cannot go into someone's house and think you could turn the ball over a couple times and beat them, especially with, how much firepower Josh Allen is. Not the offense, Josh Allen. Okay, that one throw or the one run that Josh had where he went, 40 or 38?
Yards. Like untouched.
No, yeah. I mean, that was expected, though, I think. I think the Bengals expected Josh Allen to go out and make a few plays like that. If the Bengals would have stayed on track, didn't turn the ball over, they could have had a shot to win that game. But
they were up. 10 points with 8 minutes left.
Yeah, and then you had the back-to-back interception.
Yeah, I mean, that first interception, hell of a play.
But kind of, I mean, it was an RPO, it looked like, so he pulled it, and it was going to bang it to Chase when, they do have a bad running defense, so you could take that with a grain of salt. They were going out and trying to win. They were going to try to, they had their hand on the throat. They were trying to break the neck, but you do that, and what was his name? Who made the big play?
His name is Benford, I think.
Yeah, Benford. Yeah. He had a return for a touchdown last week.
Benford, 63-yard touchdown.
Yeah. I mean, he's been making some big plays. If the Bills can continue to take the ball away, that's the only shot they have to go deep into this thing. If a team goes and plays them fundamentally sound and they don't take the ball away, I think that's how you have to beat the Bills. But look, you got Josh Allen, big game for the tight end Schultz and Kincaid
and Knox too, or Kincaid and Knox and Gesicki.
Yeah, big day. But the Bengals haven't covered a tight end all year. It was fun watching Joe Burrow battle Allen in that snow, and it looked like it was going to be a premier, like, to the wire game, and then that's how it happens, like that. That's how quick it is. Two bad plays can ruin a whole game. It's unfortunate. I think the Bengals are probably out now. They're not going to.
There's still a very small chance.
But
now, if you're the NFL playoff committee, are you selecting the Bengals to make the playoffs? Because, hey, they're a good matchup. They're a good brand. They got a quarterback.
No, they haven't played good enough this year.
Just a little shot at college football.
I know. What
are they, Notre Dame? We don't have to do the whole
thing. They Notre Dame? They just get in without being in a conference?
No, that's Alabama. Anything else in this game?
Yeah, I the Buffalo Bills, who they got this coming up. This is the week.
Hat and t-shirt game.
Hat and t-shirt for the Patriots, but the Bills could still go out and beat the Patriots in Foxborough and change this whole thing upside down.
Yeah. And we'll talk about that a little bit later.
All
But
right.
I mean, I think a big takeaway from the Bengals here, I know losing Burrow back-to-back, like it's just tough, but like he still shows up. He still is Joe Burrow. So next year there is something to like, if everyone can stay healthy, you can still have a chance. But
yeah, if everyone can stay healthy and they could draft some defense and sign over some defensive guys, there's some couple drops by Higgins, which first game back in the snow, those are tough ideal conditions. Those aren't ideal conditions. So, they were there, they had it, and just like that, it's over. Let's move on to the Packers outlasting the Bears, which was crazy because this was a tale of two different halves. You look at the first half, Green Bay was all over it. 14-0, 14-3, going into halftime. They were controlling the game. Jordan Love was able to hit a couple of those third downs where the Bears had everyone on the line of scrimmage. They get it picked up somehow. The safety doesn't come and hug and become the extra blitzer. So they're hitting guys wide open. If you're bringing a blitz and you can get it protected as an offense, and the safety who's covering the tight end, he sees his guy comes in to block, that means he either can come and then they have a free guy on the protection, or he's got to go back and do something. He kind of just stayed in this land over here and really wasn't helping. And then you see Watson has a couple big plays. I think they hit twice. So, this was a game of execution for the Packers. But then you look in the second half and the Bears completely controlled the game with the run game and the long sustaining drives. It's just, I think Jordan Love's further along than Caleb right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was the difference. Caleb had the one play at the end of the game, that the pick, and you could say, oh, this, that. They had a shot to win on the road in Lambeau. I think this was actually a pretty good loss for them.
Mm-hmm.
To show everyone, hey, we didn't play our best. We had a good game plan where we were going to control the game and keep Micah Parsons off the field or not have him rushing on third down, because you can't block a lot of those Gary and Parsons. You can't block that. And you can't sit back and throw the ball downfield. It's tough. So, seeing how they controlled the game in the second half, that's what they're going to have to do the next time they play, because they play in 2 weeks.
What do you make of the wide receiver room in Green Bay right now?
I think they're all like the same guy.
Yeah.
They have a plethora of dudes. You got Wicks, Dobbs, Watson. They have the rookie Golden, who hasn't even really been playing this year, who was a first-round draft pick. They also have – who else do they have? Wicks, Dobbs, Watson, Reed.
Golden,
They love Reed. Like, they have a lot of guys. And then they have Musgrave. They have Wilson and Jacobs in the backfield. And their offensive line got them protected. Their offensive line did a great job, the Green Bay Packers. And Jordan Love, he made them pay. When they blitzed him, he made them pay. And, they're going into this playoff game, winning some games. They have a 2-game lose streak a couple weeks back.
I think so. I mean, they got a tough schedule coming up at Denver, at Chicago again, Baltimore, whatever, and then at Minnesota.
We're going to see. This is going to be – they're at Denver this week?
Yep. That's
a big game.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see that game. Two teams that don't really play each other that often, both with really good defenses. I would say the Broncos are struggling on offense. I know Bo Nix takes care of the football, but it's hard for them to get things going. They control games, but I think that's more on the coach. I think that's Sean Payton. I think Green Bay, when they're hitting those 50-50 balls that Jordan Love loves throwing up, which they're calculated.
Yep.
They're calculated throws. That receiver core that we just talked about, they come down with a lot of them. So
that
was Watson twice.
Yeah.
Twice.
He always seems to get a long one,
he's got some speed. He's coming off that ACL of last year. He's been a huge jolt for them. It'd be really nice to see Golden get involved. But that was a great game.
Mm-hmm.
There's some great games this weekend. That was a great game.
Also telling about how close the NFC is right now.
Yeah.
Like the Bears were first seed last week, lose one game, now they're 7th seed. It's going to be fun down the line.
Who the Bears have next?
They have Cleveland at home. Then they've got Green Bay at home. Then they're at San Francisco, and then they've got Detroit at home. Those last three aren't. Those are tough.
Those are tough. Those are tough.
How do you feel about the very, very close, like replaying the same game, division round game? So like one game in between, but playing like the Bears and the Packers playing twice in 3 weeks.
I think they're tough. Those are tough. You know, you're seeing. I remember when we played the Jets in like week 17, 18, we played them in the first round of playoffs. We blew them out, 37-0 or something crazy in week 17. Then we play them in the first round of the playoffs and they beat us.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's hard to consistently beat a team because the margin, the talent's all semi-close.
Yeah.
Now you have superstars and stuff, but you're not playing like Tulane or JMU.
Why'd you pick those specific teams?
Because they're going to get blown out. They're going to get blown out in this playoff. But you know what I mean? You got some smart coaches that may have left some stuff off the table for the first game, save it for that second game. They could potentially play a third time. You never know.
It feels like it always favors the team that loses. There's just something you see that it's hard to beat a team twice in your division, particularly when they're so close together.
Yeah, because you see things that don't work. Usually the other team that wins is the things are working.
Yeah.
So then that team that lost will change the things that were working. You have more to coach off of.
There you go.
It's tough. Let's jump over in that Steelers.
Another great.
Steelers win in Baltimore. Man, this Baltimore team's a little broke. Hell of a performance by A-Rod. I said on Fox NFL Kickoff, I was taking these Steelers because I thought they'd fight for Tomlin, and that defense made plays. That defense looked good in the first half. Second half, they got a little tired. Still waiting for I'm still waiting for TJ. Still waiting for a closing sack. He's been, I know he's got 7 sacks on the year, but like if your big time players have to make the big time plays in the games. Now Highsmith got the sack at the end to end the game. And that's a team thing, but, you can't turn the ball over for your Ravens. They've been kind of broke on offense. They're not really throwing it. They have an explosion play here or there to, what's the little guy? Flowers. Yeah, Flowers. He's good. He's very good. They just, it seems like they haven't found a rhythm in a while on offense, the Ravens.
And then I saw a stat that I think Derrick Henry had like his 7th 100,000-yard season, 10 touchdowns.
Yeah. I mean, he's
right. He's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer for sure.
And Aaron Rodgers had a rushing touchdown to the discount double.
He did. He looked kind of quick on it for 42. And then he had some bombs. He hit that Austin kid on that go route. He hit DK on a go. It's fun watching the Steelers because they're kind of old, out of it, this, that, but they're still in it. I like watching those teams. I like watching, Aaron Rodgers. You got to really like compute what we're seeing. We probably may not see him anymore, and that could be the end of a legacy, which was an awesome legacy to follow and play against. Aaron Rodgers. He's one of the all-time greats at throwing that football, and he had some really good throws, and it's fun when they're connecting. You can tell he loves the game.
Yeah.
Ravens, they gotta clean it up, man. But I don't know. I think there's just they're a little broken. Their defense hasn't been the same all year. You've been able to run the ball, even though the Steelers couldn't run the ball on them. The Steelers, they can't get the run game going ever. I got Warren on my fantasy team, and he'll pick me up some points because he gets them out of the backfield and everything, but it's like very rare that they go over 100. They got to somehow get that going because that'll open up a whole lot of things for them. Mm-hmm. And the defense for the Steelers got to make some plays. And they made plays this game. They beat a division rival on the road.
Yep.
But we got, you know what I mean? Because I want the Steelers. I think it'd be fun having the Steelers in the playoffs.
I mean, yeah. Do you think this is a big statement game for the division for the Steelers? They still got a rematch. These two teams.
Yeah, I don't think you can't do that yet. The statement will be when they win the division.
Yeah,
that wasn't a statement game. yet. Because look, Pitt's got Miami next, which Miami's on a 4-game heater. They got Detroit. Detroit's still, Detroit. They got their mental toughness back last week. Cleveland, that's going to be right around when Myles Garrett's trying to beat that sack record. So he's going to be coming out like a bat out of hell.
Yeah.
And then you finish it with Baltimore. I mean, those are like, you look at it and you could say you could win 3 of those, but Miami's a different team than 5 weeks ago. Detroit's got a little confidence. Cleveland, they have a little juice with Shador and the whole Myles Garrett thing. In Baltimore, anytime, like we just talked about, you play a team so close to each other, it's hard. So it'll be fun to watch that. Baltimore got Cincy, which, we'll see how Cincy is.
And then at New England.
Oh,
no, home. They're home with them.
No, in Baltimore.
Yeah.
Then Green Bay, and then Pitt.
It's tough.
So
would you take on any thoughts on those controversial calls?
Oh, the catch?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, got to finish catch.
Mark Butterworth explained, he's the vice president of instant replay at the NFL. He said the control is the first aspect of the catch. The second aspect is 2 feet or a body part inbounds.
And a football movement.
Which he did have. Then the third step is an act common to the game of football. Before he could get the third foot down, the ball was ripped out. Therefore, it was an incomplete pass.
Yeah, I mean, this happened to Baltimore a couple times. Yeah. Sterling Moore in that 2011 AFC Championship where he got the ball out.
I got a question for you. What is your favorite football move?
I don't even know how to answer that question. But just finish you got to finish it.
Yeah.
And it's about time the defense gets one going on their side.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean? They can't do anything out there. At least you got to 1, 2, 3. It's tough. I don't know what a catch is, but if it's going to be close, don't make it close.
Yeah. Yep.
And then let's go in and finish it off with the Texans win in Arrowhead. Yikes.
Now, is that a statement game?
That's a statement game.
Yeah.
That's a statement game. Because that was in front of everyone on the road against the defending conference champs.
Mm-hmm.
All the plays we're used to seeing the Chiefs make on offense just hasn't been going. It's and I haven't bet against them until I said on the show Fox Kickoff, I'm not betting against them until the dirt's on the coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the dirt's on the coffin. I think the dirt's on the coffin, and the let's not make this about the Chiefs. They've been on a hell of a run, and Father Time is undefeated for everyone. Let's not forget that. But that Houston Texans defense is unreal. Incredible.
Mm-hmm.
They got Lassiter, the corner. They have Stingley, the corner. They got Hunter. They got Alshear, whatever. They got the other D end who's a monster. They play fast. They play tight. They play disciplined. Patrick had to run around a bunch because all those guys were covered.
Yep.
And the defensive line's getting the pressure in the face while they're getting covered in the back end. D'Amico's got this group going, and they have the dogs for it. I'm a little concerned still with Houston's offense, though.
It feels like,
but C.J. Stroud did make a couple plays. He made a couple Mahomes plays, and that was the difference.
That third and long.
That third and long, but we got to see more consistency on that offense. A lot of that money in that whole team and the draft equities on that defense right now, and that's how they're winning. They're kind of, what are they on the offensive line? They really don't have a great running back, and that's kind of what they want to do. Nico Collins is really good, but you can kind of put your coverage towards him. Mm-hmm. Attracts a lot of attention. The Chiefs didn't have McDuffie, and this game was 10-10 until the fourth quarter, and then I think the emotional decision of Andy Reid.
Fourth down.
It's hard to argue against a guy that Andy Reid, who's had a lot of success. But I think that was an emotional decision where they needed to. They were on tilt.
Mm-hmm.
They were on tilt. Like when you get a bad beat in poker and then you're over here betting, raising.
Nuts. Yeah.
And those 2 4th downs, I mean, especially the one in their own territory. I mean, their defense held Houston to like 3 and outs like prior to this.
It's one thing if your defense is just not letting anyone,
I don't know, man. It was tough, but hey, they basically said we got to put it in our guy's hands, and he's going to win the game for us. And I'll never argue that if that's what they felt at that time. They had a good plan, or something. But it was hard. It's hard to have a good plan against that Houston defense that was stuffing everything. I mean, they couldn't. It was tough for them to get short yards. It was tough for them it was tough for the Chiefs against that Houston defense. That Houston defense swarms. Chiefs were 1 for 3 on 3rd down, 4 for 14 on 1 for 3 on 4th down, 4 for 14 on 3rd down, 1 for 2 in the red area. I mean, they barely got in the red area. 3 turnovers. That's the difference. Patty's pressing. He's pressing when he's got a little time. He's feeling like he needs to make a big play because a lot of the times he ain't getting a lot of time. They're so banged up on offensive line. Mm-hmm. And so, when you can't get anything going, that I'm just sure Mahomes was pressing, and it's kind of sad. I think they're out.
AFC looking wide open.
AFC's looking wide open. I think the whole league's looking wide open.
Seriously.
But shout out to Houston. That's a big time win on the road in Arrowhead with Kansas City's back against the wall. You go out and you beat the champs.
Ballsy. Other quick big stories. Zach Ertz tears his ACL. Daniel Jones tears his Achilles.
Yeah.
Just sucks to see that.
It's time for the Chill Zone, brought to you by Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN and celebrate responsibly. Let me get one of my guys.
No, this might not hit the brand guidelines, but that's okay. I'm going to ask you 5 not so chill questions.
Okay.
Mix it up.
I'm going to use my chill tactics.
You want to toss me one of those? Yeah, you use your chill tactics to make them chill. Great question. Great song.
Man.
Ooh, there we go. It's the second time we spilled on this table today. Shout out Tim. Question. First, not so chill question. Should the Bengals release Flacco so he can sign with the Colts?
That'd be kind of tight.
Be fun for football.
If I'm Flacco, are you asking for a release?
How does that go down?
I don't know. I feel like he's been on that team already.
He was.
I know. Yeah. They almost went to the playoffs with them, didn't they?
Yeah.
Or did they go to the playoffs?
I don't. They've had so many like the washed, not saying Flacco's washed, but the old journeyman guys, Matt Ryan and
Rivers.
Even Daniel Jones, kind of. Not really, but
Daniel Jones like 28.
Okay, let's just dreamcast for a second. If Joe Flacco asks the Bengals for, a release and the Colts sign him, do the Colts have a shot to make the playoffs?
A lot more than now.
Yeah.
A lot more than right now.
Okay, next question. Are the Jags a cream team?
I mean, I think they are. I think they are a cream team. Cream team. I don't know if they're a butter team though.
It's not butter season yet. It's just cream season.
Yeah, they're a cream team right now. I mean, that defense is second in takeaways. That they're really good against the run. I think they're like 6 or 7 in yards per carry allowed against their defense. They find ways to win. I love Jacoby Myers with
Jags.
Brian Thomas. Mm-hmm. I think that's a good combo.
Their tight end too. Strange has been stepping up.
Strange, ETN at running back. He always kind of gets you something here. And Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
Liam Cohen. Like,
got Bashaw Tootin waiting in the wings too. Go Hokies.
He's got Liam Cohen's got some juice. He's got some, he's a smart guy. These offensive coordinators that worked with Bake, look at Canales. They're looking pretty decent too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Jags are, just because of the product of the division they're in right now and all the circumstances that are going on over there.
Another question. Are the Chiefs cooked?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs are gone. I think they're done. And,
Are they just not good anymore?
I just think, no, they're not. It's not that. They're just too banged up right now.
Yeah.
Like, their defense still looked really good last night. Their defense looked insane. And they lost McDuffie, one of their best players. And they were playing against Houston, who has been struggling on offense, but they made impact plays. Like, you give the ball up to the defense after they've given up only 10 points on your 30, something's going to happen. But, they've been really banged up at offensive line. They've had a couple guys leave there.
Mm-hmm.
A couple guys they drafted weren't playing. Simmons, their other tackle gets hurt. Then the tackle gets hurt on the first play. That's the backup tackle. Like, I know it sounds cliche, but you win in the trenches. Anytime the Chiefs ever had struggles is when they couldn't protect Patrick Mahomes. I think they even have the weapons for it. They just don't have the offensive line right now.
Yeah.
So, are they cooked? They're cooked for this season. They're cooked for this season right now.
It's two more here. Should the Commanders sit Jaden Daniels for the rest of the season? He had another aggravated his elbow injury yesterday.
He's only in his second year, and maybe it would be. I don't think they should. I think he needs to learn how to adjust his game for when he's not 100%, because that's what the great quarterbacks do. They go out and adjust their game when they're not feeling good.
Mm-hmm.
I remember Brady had like a broken foot. No one knew about it, but he had a broken foot. And I think we got the ball out in 1.8 seconds every time because he didn't want to get hit. And we won games that way. You know what I mean? He's got to find a way to learn to not take these hits. And if they can't protect him, maybe they should sit him. But if you got to go down with the ship. You're the starting quarterback. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Joe Burrow, and he's got a $300, $400 million. Now he's got a big contract. I get that, but if you're the organization, you got to see him stay healthy.
Yeah, they're 3-10, and look at this. Look at the schedule they have left: at Giants, Eagles at home, Cowboys at home, at Eagles, all division.
Yeah, I would play him if he can go.
Love it. And then last question. Maybe this is a little bit of Homer talk or Homer conversation. Are the Patriots going to win the AFC East this weekend? Hat and T-shirt game? Bills at home?
It's their first bye week. It's this generation's first bye week.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how they are out of buys yet. But they do have like a good thing going over there. What's up?
Injuries starting to pile up. Offensive line, those guys are still out, I think.
Wilson and Campbell's out. Campbell's out. Not going to be back for a while.
Yeah, there's talk that maybe like in the playoffs he could come back if they win a game.
He should be able to come back in 4 weeks. Grade 3.
Okay.
Let's go.
Milton Williams still too,
but he's coming back soon.
Getting soon, yeah.
It's going to be a tough game because this is a different Bills team, especially with the confidence they just got after beating those Bengals. But I'm going with the Patriots. I think this is a new Patriots team. I think they win this weekend in the hat and T-shirt game in Foxborough. Who's defending the light? Or who's defending the lighthouse?
I don't know.
We have the height. I don't know then.
I mean, if you keep it up, they might give you a call.
No.
Although, no, they shouldn't.
Last time I went, they had fucking 5 turnovers on my fucking Hall of Fame weekend and lose to the Pittsburgh Steelers in
brutal.
Horrible fashion.
Yeah, that was their last loss.
I was sitting with Coach Scar the whole game. We're over here MFing.
I mean, one thing on the Patriots, I don't think this generation has proven to have the Gillette cold weather, home field advantage. Yeah, a lot of those guys are Southern guys. They haven't really shown.
Yeah, but they've been practicing out there. I know they've been practicing out there. Look, I think they can get it done. Like, who's on that defensive line for the Bills that scares you right now? They were out Bosa last game. Bosa was out. Like, Ed Oliver's been out.
I mean, but like you see the Patriots stopping the run.
They have to.
They have to.
And one thing we've kind of seen is that the Patriots have been doing a good job of taking away the team's best thing. What'd the Patriots do against Cooks last time? You know what I mean? They were probably more explosive
yards.
then.
Yeah.
But, the Patriots are down Milton. So, I think it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a great game. It's by no means will it be a blowout. And the Bills could even go in and win that game.
For sure.
But I'm going with, I'm going with the young gun, Drake May. Drake May.
That's
May.
Cool. It's a 1:00 game too, which I think
get up and go.
I think that favors New England.
This is a get up and go game. There's going to be a little sun over on our side. Wait, where's that sun? Yeah, it's our sideline back over there. So we'll see some of those deep throws. Maybe I remember the sun late in the year was always a factor in punts and go balls on one of the sidelines, usually going towards the lighthouse on our sideline. Right? One of those two.
Yeah. And this is going to be one of those classic late season games where it start. Oh, no, it's not at 4:00. Never mind. All right.
But it gets dark in New England at 4.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a twilight.
Yeah. Yeah. A little twilight.
It would be that's a fun game, man. There's a lot of great games. This is the best time of the year right now. Because this is when you can determine on who's real and who's not.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the cream teams come up and they rise to the tippity top.
And we got Chargers Eagles tonight.
Chargers Eagles. I think Philly's going to get them.
I think so too. But you never know.
You never know. This could be a Justin Herbert,
He's playing
Madison Beer in the crowd. Where's this at? It's here.
It's here. Yeah.
I think will be filled with all Eagles fans.
They want to get out of the snowy, cold Northeast.
Yeah, but there's so many, like LA has so many transplants from everywhere.
Yeah.
So there's probably at least 600,000 Philly people around here.
Yeah, I can see that.
Man, that was fun. Well, that was the Chill Zone. Thanks to our favorite beer, Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door. Visit CoorsLight.com/GWN and celebrate responsibly. Well, that's been another NFL recap here in the Nuthouse. Hit the comments if you want us to keep doing these weekly recaps. Give us questions in there. I think you got to hit the hotline to tell me on Sunday what you want us to hear on Monday, maybe. Okay, maybe we should try that. Again, we got a new Games with Names tomorrow. We've got Patriots fullback. It's fullback season. James freaking Devlin talking about Super Bowl 52, talking about a loss.
Yeah, that was
he's from Philly.
Yeah, we've been sitting on this one for a while just to get the right moment. We feel like it's preseason time. It's a good episode.
It's a really fun episode. And a new Dudes on Dudes dropping Thursday with some great Hall of Fame caliber dudes. We'll see you next time, guys.